Hi YouTube friends, my name is Wendy and welcome to my craft room. This is my Crafty update number 4. A couple days late. I really didn't feel like I had a lot to show this time. I don't know what happened to my crafting week. I did get caught up in the Stephen West MCal trying to pick colors, and anyway, I'll talk about that later. So let's get started. I have a few finished objects. The first thing I have is just a general crafting. It's my witchy wreath. I finally got it finished. Got the bow on. It's cute, happy with it. It's all just Dollar Tree supplies, so it's you know, an affordable way to decorate for holidays and seasons and whatnot. The next thing I completed were these silicone beaded pens. This one is the Grim Reaper. Oh, cute. And another pumpkin spice drink. I think I gave the other one away, so I made this one for myself. They're so cute. And then fall maple leaf stylus. These are really handy too. Really cute. I got all these supplies from Temu. I'll try and remember to link it below. Temu's a dangerous place. Everything looks like you're getting it for free, but by the time you end up finishing, you've spent a lot more than you thought. Okay, the next finished object is just a dishcloth. This is one of those grandmother's favorite dishcloths. It's just scrappy. I use scraps. Trying to get back into scrappy Sundays, using scraps in knitting, crocheting, cross-stitching. This pattern was an adaptation by Robin Weist in 2018. I'm not sure where I got it online somewhere. I'll see if I can find it to link it below. She said it's just a recipe, and it's based on a free recipe that's been handed out for years. She just added an adaptation to make it easier to do the short rows, I think, to make the corners. Anyway, so that I'm going to save, I think, for a charity bin. And that's it for finished objects this week. Not a lot. When you have a really good week like I had last week, I think I had 5 objects last week. You expect that every week, but it's just not possible to keep up. So I think I have to, you know, give myself a little grace in that regard. Okay, just checking my notes so I don't forget anything. Okay, so crocheting. I did work again on my Pumpkin Harvest Vintage Truck crochet pillow. Okay, yes. I got from the stitch marker to here done. So that's all just the plain. The next step is to get into the color changing part where you start to see the truck. Looking forward to that, but I don't know, I just haven't got back to it yet. That pattern is by Orsak Originals, and it is on Etsy. I'll link it below. The next thing I got done, or got progress on, is my patchwork jacket by Red Heart. Oh yeah, I should have shown the picture. picture of the truck. Let me see. yeah, here is the picture of the truck pattern. Okay. And here's the picture of the patchwork jacket using Red Heart all-in-one flower power. This one I'm using in the colorway Forget-Me-Not, and these are what those squares look like. They're all the same basically. I found sometimes, although I kept measuring the start tail and the end tail the same, the farther I got in the ball, the more my colors seem to be off just a bit. So some of them are a little bit not perfect, but hey, that's what handmade is, right? If you recall, this was a project that I started on my Mary Maxim Monday series. That's where I put all the yarn I purchased in Mary Maxim into a decision wheel, and I spin it, and that yarn is what gets picked to do the next project on. Well, the yarn that got picked wasn't actually flower power. It was this Cascade Yarns Cherub Aran. Oh, this is so soft. It's a 4-weight acrylic, machine wash and dry. The color is, they just give a number, color 115. So when I purchased this color, I purchased it to go along with the Red Heart. I had this jacket in mind, a couple of projects that Red Heart had done crochet and knit-alongs with this last year. So that was my intention when I purchased this yarn, was to go with that. So when I drew this yarn, I knew it was to go with that, so I had to start that project. Now, the only thing is I didn't purchase at the time the other all-in-one granny square in the colors to go with that, and locally I couldn't find colors. In the town that I live in, we don't have a Michael's. Michael's is about half an hour away. So I just my local Walmart, they have a few. It's funny, they didn't have any flower power, they only had the granny square. Now I think they might have a couple flower power, but they have a few more granny squares, but not in a color that looked, you know, that went along with that. So I ended up instead picking this Super Saver Bitty Stripes in the colorway Rainbow Mist. I thought that would be a nice complement to those colors. So that is to do the granny square squares. Now if I don't like the look of that, then I will just get single colors and make a granny square changing colors every row. But hopefully I'll like the look of that. I'm sure I will. So that's where that project is. The flower squares are all done. So now I have to do 12 of the granny square, and I think 4 granny squares, solid granny squares with this color, and then put it together and then use this for trim. And so that is that project. And that's it as far as whips go. The other series that I have going is from Valerie's Cuddly Cat Crochet, the crochet prompts, the crochet challenge. Now last week I drew a challenge, and for some reason I just nothing hit me yet. I have a couple ideas, so I haven't started it yet. So I won't draw a new challenge this week, hopefully next week. But the challenge this week was crochet something that reminds you of an important event in your life. So I do have a couple ideas now, so hopefully I'll get started at that this week. The other thing I got done was I did work a little bit more on my cross stitch. This is the pattern. This was a kit by Debbie Mumm bows. It's a front door bow, and this is a country welcome. I got this many years ago at Mary Maxim. I still like it. It's old-fashioned, but I do like it, so I do want to continue working on it. But I'm still working on the top part of the bow. I think I did another 50 or so stitches, maybe 100. This is like a barn. This is going to be a bird. This is the fence. So I am looking forward to getting some more done on that. The only other thing I worked on was this peppermint pin pillow. And this is out of a booklet by Rosewood Manor. And the booklet is called Oh Santa. The design is by Karen K. Luba. Oops. And there's the project I'm working on at this time. It's really coming along. I don't have a lot to do. Just to continue the holly leaves up here, and then berries all along the outside. This kit I got in a Christmas box by Garon Stitchery a couple years ago. I think that's probably 16 count black Ada, or maybe 14 count. This bag was also in the holiday kit, or holiday box. It was a Christmas box. This is one of Garon Toten's bags. So cute. So that's my cross stitch lately. Okay. Now I'm going to talk about the Stephen West MCAL, which, if you're not familiar, it just means Mystery Knit Along. Every year Stephen West does a knit along, and it's a shawl pattern, and it goes for 4 weeks, and every week you get a new clue. They're very substantial, very intricate, and can be somewhat intimidating. But I always learn something new or reinforce something. Like he has, you know, tips and tricks and sayings that help you remember things. So anyway, I had shown you yarn before that I was going to use for the MCAL. So the first clue came out Thursday, and I started it. I did a first section, and I made a couple mistakes, ripped it out, started it again, ripped it out, started it again, and then I didn't like the colors. I just didn't like the colors. So I picked different colors, and I started it again, and then I got to the brioche section. And brioche is a knitting technique, and the effect it gives you is you have a contrast color and a main color, and on one side you see the main color, and on the other side you see the contrast color. Well, I've not done a lot of brioche, and I think the only brioche I've done are actually on a couple of shawls that he's done before. And when I followed along with the tutorial, I followed along, but I didn't really understand it. And this time, when he was doing the tutorial, see, Stephen starts his tutorials off with the, I think it's the English style knitting, or is that continental? Where you hold the yarn in your left hand and knit. Well, I'm a thrower. I think that's English style, yeah. I hold my needles, and then in my right hand I throw my yarn over. So during the tutorial, I just wasn't grasping what he was doing, so I made some mistakes. So I ripped it all out. Thought, okay, I can't do this today. So that was on Thursday. So then on Friday, I got some scrap yarn and some bigger needles, and I watched some tutorials and worked on just brioche. And I did two different tutorials. I think one, Stephen West, I thought it would be good to do his tutorial since this is his pattern. And then I did another tutorial, I think by Andrea Mowry. And I think I watched a third tutorial. And watching all the tutorials and taking the time to watch the stitches and try to read the knitting and understand what color you're knitting, so what that means in terms of the stitches that you're knitting. Anyway, I finally got it. So over the weekend I got this much done. So this is spoiler alert. But these are my colors. It's not showing up very well in here. This color is, or this section is called a welt. Basically you knit 8 rows and then you fold it over and catch. When you knit the next row, you're catching that with a row below, so you're folding it over and making this welt. Anyway, the welts are in a brown color. There we go. This is a nice chocolate brown. This was from LesGarcons. Now there is 2 colors in the green section. One is kind of a teal, well, you can see the difference there, and the other is more like a forest green. These are colors from LesGarcons as well, and there you can see the difference. One is based on Needles at the Ready podcaster Ray, and the other one is based on Needles at the Ready podcaster Kevin. And then my, it's A, B, C, yeah, and my final color is Peony, and this is by the Green Button Jar. It's a lovely speckled color. So here is what I've got done so far, and this is the brioche part. So see, this is the wrong side, that's the contrasting color, and this is the right side, this is the main color. So now that I understand it a bit more, it was much easier to go through it. So although it is challenging, it is so rewarding when you learn something new, when you understand something, or when something clicks. So that's why I like doing his shawls, mystery knit-alongs every year, is I do learn so much. And even if it's just little tips and tricks to remember things like, you know, when to knit in the front and when to knit in the back, and in this case brioche, when to knit, you know, how to tell if you're working on your main color, when to know if you're sliding your stitches rather than turning it around, and so that's very helpful, very helpful. So I'm so glad that I persevered. And that's just beginning. The first clue is the video tutorial is over 3 hours long, and I think I'm probably maybe even in the first hour still. So they're a challenge. They're very big, but very rewarding. I really recommend that if you haven't tried it and you're a knitter, give it a try. You'll learn a lot, and it's a community. If you can participate in different Zooms and whatnot, there's lots of people. There's people all over the world participating in this. People all over the world. It is just amazing to be part of a group that you know everybody is working on it. So as far as plans, I'll be working on that shawl a lot. I still want to continue, well, just everything that I've been working on. Yeah, that's it. Haul, the only thing I purchased in the last couple weeks is I went to a festival. It was the Apple Festival, and I got these earrings. They're so cute. Pumpkins. And these earrings for my football Sundays. Very cute. These were by a crafter called, where did I have it? Oh, here it is. Crafty Camper. And all I could find was her Facebook page. I'll link that below. And other than that, it's been a good week or so. The weather's been summer-like, back into the 80s. We've had to turn our air conditioning back on. But I think it's supposed to cool down a little bit this week. Get back into more seasonal weather. I'm looking forward to that. So anyway, that's all I have for you this time. Thank you again for all the comments, the likes, the subscribes. It's been really fun interacting with you all. And I look forward to doing more of the same. So that's it. Bye for now. Take care. Happy crafting. I'll see you next week.